I'm on the YouTube channel always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Where last night we had the third event for female bodybuilding, and it was at New York Pro. It's New York Pro. It's a show that's sponsored by the great Miss Bev Francis and her husband Steve Weinberger, and it's been around for quite some time. As you know, in 2020 it came back. Female bodybuilding came back to New York Pro after it was pushed out for every reason. You know, the stories I've heard, different sites, but in fact, it came back, and this was the third show for women's bodybuilding, and it's a great opportunity, especially as Bev Francis is a woman who changed the sport. She changed the sport, of bodybuilding. She had a great physique. Been in, just. But besides that, anyway, we have we have these 8 ladies. Originally, it was 9 when I did my video, but a couple of days ago. But then one of the ladies dropped out. That was Gisela um, Nunez Chan. I don't know what happened to her. Maybe because she lives in China, it could have been like a a visa issue or anything like that. It happens. I've talked about on my channel when MMA fighters come out of other countries when they have visa issues, and that's why I think more competitors should try to, if you're going to compete here, make sure, if you're going to live out of this country, maybe go ahead and try to make sure your stuff's straight before you think about traveling, or easiest to move here where there's the more shows for you, more opportunities. But I know people want to be close to home. But the fact is, there's more shows here in the States than there's any place in the world. So anyway, these lovely 8 ladies representing women's bodybuilding, they put on a good show. I didn't watch the live stream because it was out of my budget. So I just, saw some clips here and there on, Instagram and on YouTube, and, and also some posted on certain sites. So, it was a pretty good show from the looks of it. So anyway, we have these 8 lovely ladies, and we have a winner for coming up for to make the 2022 Olympia in Vegas, and that is a lady who I am fond of, and that is one Mrs. Donna Salib. And I was just I said, with your congratulations to the champ. And I sent her that pit, which was the score sheet. She thanked me because last time I sent the score sheet from Indiana, she was pissed off. She said BS, but she was happy with how to look at the score sheet at this time. And congratulations to Donna Sully. Donna is, as you know, she is a mother, a wife, a grandmother. She is a wrestling fan, a former wrestler, and and to come along, and this is her first Olympia qualification in her career. She has, last year she had some struggles. She made top 5 in a couple of those shows. I think in the Chicago, she made top 6. That was on her birthday, and Chicago. But this is a great early birthday gift. I think her birthday's coming up in June, and that's and I'm gonna do a birthday video for her. So I'm hoping to get her on my live stream, do an interview, because we've been talking back and forth. Cross my fingers. I hope things gonna be. I know she'll be busy because she's tired. She wants to give time to to refuel, to rejuvenate after this whole big win. And she's a women's strength ambassador, so this is a good thing for her. Second place is Stephanie Fletcher. Now, a lot of people, even myself, thought Stephanie was going to win this show, but like I said, it was a week since the Indy. Indy was last Saturday, and then she comes in this show, and I thought a lot of people were talking, Stephanie's going to win this, and I feel like that too. But Stephanie still looks a little off. One thing about Stephanie, she still poses like a physique competitor. And that's the hard thing. You have to really get out of those reputations when you switch divisions. With women's bodybuilding, it's about being like almost like the men, but still be a bit feminine, but you still have to be more strong and more physical with your poses. It's not about presentation poses. You want to do the little posing stuff, do it in the finals. But when you're in the prejudging, you really want to have a better, stronger presentation as a bodybuilder. So, but anyway, she's already got, I think, 10, 11 points out of the show. I think it was 5 points for second at the Indy. I don't know, either 5 or 4, because there were so few women. And then she now has another 5 points for this show, so she's either 9 or 10. Because last year she qualified by points, for the last year's Olympia, but she took a step back. But this time, I think she's determined. I think best advice for her: skip the bigger shows. Don't do Chicago. Don't do Tampa. Either do Omaha or Puerto Rico. Those shows are probably going to not have as many bodies. Puerto Rico probably a lot better because it's going to be out of the country, and a lot of ladies don't want to travel out of the country because the fact is hey, you got vaccination. But you got to remember, Puerto Rico is the United States territory. But still, be vaccinated. Be smart. Here we have is Michelle Jenn. Now Michelle Jenn lives in my home state of North Carolina, and this is her second show since the Toronto, and that was last year. And she took third at Toronto, and she took third at this show. So congratulations to her. Maybe just she already has points from Toronto because Toronto's a bigger show. I think she gets 3 points, I believe. I'm trying to remember the point system. And now she gets another 3 or 4. I forget another 3 points for this show, so she's at 6 points. So she's on the way. Once she hits maybe two more shows, all she got to do is either get enough points qualification or win. Here we have one Miss, Keisha Oliver. Now Keisha competed last year. Competed was at the Omaha, and also I think she done the Savannah, I believe. I think she did a couple of shows last year, if I can remember. And Keisha's pretty impressive. I mean, great physique. I think I did a comparison video between her and Margie V. Martin. And I think one thing she needs to work out is her legs. I mean, from this picture here, she needs a little bit more definition and a slight more size. Upper body's pretty decent. Look at her arms. She got a great set of guns. But I think that's the one thing she needs to work on. If she can bring in her legs a little more and, be a little more tighter in the midsection, she'd be great. I mean, I think she probably is a possible Olympic qualification and, Olympic contender. I mean, she got to really bring it in, but she can do this. As you know, she trains under Teresa Vasic. So, that's a good thing. A woman who's a two-time Olympia competitor, and maybe she gets her stride in because this is the first show for the year. Sometimes, ladies, I've heard sometimes it may takes maybe a couple of shows for them to really get their, get themselves together. But like I said, congratulations to the sister. And I hope good luck to her. And this is another lady from my home state of North Carolina. She is from Charlotte. That's up the road from where I live at. Is this one, Miss Chagrita? I want to say Chagrita Barrero. I want to apologize saying her name wrong, but this was her pro debut, and she got top 5 at the at the New York Pro. That's pretty good for your pro debut. I mean, great, top 5. I mean, sometimes some people get their pro debut, they'll do too good. Sometimes they be like second to last, or not even the top 10. But as you know, there's only 8 women in this show, and she got her on her first pro show top 5. I think Keisha was top 5 at the Omaha last year. So, that's pretty good making your pro debut and making top 5. So maybe we get see more of her. There's still some more shows coming up. There's the Toronto that's coming up next month, and also I think the Puerto Rico and also Chicago. But it's all best wishes for her and best luck to her. Now here we have is Pauline Nelson, and Pauline has been competing for quite some time. She's a main staple. Most of that you might see a lot in the Tampa, but this time she competed in New York. She's from New York, and she trains at Bear Francis' gym. She trains on the Bear Francis, and we know last year at Tampa she had to drop out. She was probably in 5th place at Tampa, but because of some kind of issue she dropped out. Pauline looked pretty good. It's been a while since we competed since Tampa. She did the Savannah show. I don't think she did too well. I think maybe top 10 in Savannah. I can't remember. But she looked all right. One thing was that she's still a bit, being that she is a woman of the Bahamas, and those women of the Bahamas are a little bit more thicker. I think she still has issues. You gotta remember, Pauline is just at 50, and she has a birthday coming up in a bit, and it's a lot harder for women who are much older to maintain that level of muscle, especially if you're just some issues with your skin elasticity sometimes. But she looked all right, from the front, but then she turned around, it kind of looked not as as well put together. I think that's the thing, that if she can work on that part and make a few things, I think she can do pretty good. But she's been the top contender. She's been like 2 times. She made the top 3 at the Tampa. After she turned pro, I think in 2017, 2018, she's been the Rising Phoenix. She's an amazing woman. But like I said, it's get a lot tougher, especially when you get to that over that hump. And I've seen some amazing women who are maturity and muscle. But I'm a fan of Pauline. One lady who I've been on my live stream, I'm a fan of her. We talk on social media. I think she's a great lady. I'm hoping we get her back on my live stream again. We can talk and see her experiences. And this is one Mrs. Winnie Sanchez. And Miss Sanchez, we were talking. She was kind of feel like there's some issues she needs to work on. And the thing is, like I said, because she's about the same idea, because she's older, she feels like it's harder for her. But like I said, I think she's a great physique. I mean, great minds, great looks. I love her physique. I admire it. The issue she has, yes, she can fix. Like I say, with mixed section, I think she was worried about her legs. She did say she put on 8 more pounds of muscle, but it's really, really where the muscle want to be at. She has great upper body development. Great lat development. As you know, this is the second time her in Chicago. Last year, she took 5th place in Chicago, but the fact that you remember this, it was 5 women that show, and Lena Denny won that show. But this time she took 7. I thought she could be a top 5 contender, especially the way Pauline looked. I'm not sure about Pauline. She could have. I think Pauline should have got 7th. Maybe it's just me, but I'm not a judge. I'm a fan. I could be a little prejudiced, especially if person that I feel I'm friendly with, and I'm acquainted with. I can be a little prejudiced, but the fact is, I think she had put up a great physique. I know she posted some pictures on IG with her and her daughter and her husband, her Edgar. Shout out to them. She picked one picture where she's showing her glutes. I tell her those are nice set of glutes. She laughed. She liked that because I think she does a nice set of glutes. Or I can do like my man Al Pacino from Heat. Yeah, she got a great ass. But she does. I think she's a great physique. I think she says she's planning on doing some more masters. Masters going to come in to the Olympia in 2023, and that may be a great opportunity for her. You can compete with people who's within your comfort zone of physiques, and also you can still do the open. Because you know what, you never know what happens. All it takes the right time, the right time, right thing. I like to see when you do that well. Because I like to say I respect my mature women of muscle. Her, Donna, these ladies, Pauline, who step into the division and really try to prove themselves, especially with these young competitors. But much respect to Mrs. Winnie Sanchez, and I hope we see her again the rest of the season. And this is one lady I've been talking with on social media. I think she's an amazing lady. This is a legend, in my opinion. One Miss Michelle Ives Brent. She is a legend. She is a friend of a dear friend of ours, the late Miss Wanderly Charisma, and she came back as a dedication to her dear friend. And I hope she keeps doing this. I mean, I know she took 8th place, and it's tough, especially she is in her 60s, and she still looks amazing. I mean, I've been a fan of hers back when she was still in the NPC. When she finally got a pro card. She competed in 2020. She had some time off. Her and her husband have a business. They do jewelry. They do other stuff. I mean, this is a way to promote herself and her company. And I hope, like I said, we've been talking. I hope we get things together and we get her on the live stream. And I love talking to legends like her. They're amazing. People like her, Sue Price, Nancy Lewis, our dear friend Miss Rhonda Lee. I mean, the ladies who had their boots on the ground, 10 toes down. I love talking to these legends. I mean, I love talking to up and comers, and but the legends are fun to talk with because they've seen things and done things. Much respect to Miss Brent, Mrs. Brent, and her commitment is, she's a mother. Her son was just like Donna Donna Salib. Her son was also in the military, and to both to Donna and to Michelle, I want to thank their sons for their service. I did a Mother's Day comparison video with her and Donna Salib, and just as they were mothers to both sons in the military, and so with much respect for them and their commitment to the sport of bodybuilding. But I hope she keeps on going. I think she's planning on doing maybe a couple more shows, and then that's it. She's gonna wrap it up, and then she's gonna probably officially say, some days they don't want to say retire, but you know what, they'll probably walk away. But you never know, that passion for bodybuilding, and she, like I said, she's a legend, and it's just great to talk about women like her. And I hope the opportunity we get to have a conversation on my live stream sometime soon. When things get settled, things get taken care of. But whenever she wants to, like I said, I'm a fan. So this is the list for women's physique. And originally, like I said, usually I want to wait and see how this, whenever it gets signed in and registered. And when I did the video, was it Friday? I did. I thought it was 10 women. One point it was like 8. I say, oh wow, it was 9 female bodybuilders, 8 physiques. Finally, women's bodybuilding going to outnumber the women's physique. But then 2 more women jumped on, and then I'll say 10. And then the last minute, 1 more woman jumped on. I said, what the? I mean, it's just, I mean, then again, women's physique outnumbers women bodybuilding. When will women bodybuilding ever get the chance to outnumber the women in physique division? It's hard, because everybody's going with physique. Physique is more considered more feminine, but the fact is, physique is changing. It's evolving. This is why I'm talking about. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do as I know it's been a while since I did my Sunday discussion. I'm gonna do a thing where we'll talk about what needs to be changed in women's divisions. And it's just something I'm working on. I got to put it together. Once I can put it together and get the people who want to go on board and talk about it, we'll talk about it. But right now, this is just. But we all know what was the outcome was Natalia Conejo, Abraham Conejo. Italian. She won again. Natalia won again. This is the fourth show after the Olympics, the second show in the year for her. And I know recently, AJ and JB, actually the female botany channel, they posted a little thing where I made a comment. When the show posted my comment where I talked about her and made like a yes or no question thing, and a lot of people kind of was pretty much feel like that she needs to sit herself out. But the thing is, I'm saying she loves competing. I know she's saying loves competing, but the thing is, you can with competing is it can be a tax on your body. She's young. She's young. I think she's just in her mid-20s now, and she's been competing since she was a teenager. But you know what? You should take a sit back. I mean, you already got your Olympic qualification. I understand some ladies compete for the money, but some people compete for the love too. But you know what? You should focus on maybe trying to beat Celo Vegas. And you doing these shows is not going to help you, truthfully. You might come in here, somebody who won their qualification, take time off, focus on the Olympia, boom, come in, and you can probably not even make the top three. And this year, with most divisions except for men's open, all divisions is top three now, not top five, which is kind of a f up. You know, excuse my language. That people like, as you know, I saw recently I saw that Brooke Walker. She's taking a step back from competing this year, so she's not going to compete at the Olympia and for the physique division, and she was pretty impressive. If Brooke came back, I think Brooke probably can beat Talia. I honestly think she has a great physique. She has a great physique comparison to maybe, most definitely Sarah Vilgas and also Daly Bailey. Daly was a little bit, in the first couple of years, Daly was a little bit chunky, but, once she got her stride, I think she got better. And we talked about the issues with there was some issues with Daly Bailey in the past. Some people don't want to say, but I'm not going to talk about it right now, maybe later. But Natalia, I know say she's doing the love of it. I can respect that, but at the same time is you're taking away opportunities for other people who want to come in because the fact is you already got your qualification. I know you want to compete, but you already got your qualification. And some people say like, and some people like not gonna say anything, but you know what they say like, why she's here? Some women who took second to her, like Ivy Rain at the Legion Sports Fest, she took second to her, and then Ivy had to go to Chicago to Canada and won a qualification at the Atlanta. Also, another lady who I saw who just recently earned her qualification at the Ultima. She took second at Natalia at the men. I think the Atlantic Coast show in Miami, and they took third in Pittsburgh. And some of these ladies are just I think they don't want to say it. They want to be polite, but they say like, go somewhere else, sit down. Don't do no more shows. If she does another show, I think it's not going to do good for her when she gets to Olympia. I know she got enough time in Olympia, but then she's going to tax herself. And after last year, with so many people dying for whatever reason, or whatever, especially young competitors, not even there was a couple of women who weren't even in their 30s passing away. Some of the ladies were a little bit older, but it's just you got to take care of yourself. Your body is, if your body's one thing, your mind is one thing, but your body's another. But congratulations to her on a win. But still, I feel like she needs to sit her butt down. Here we have is Jai Hee Lee. I'm gonna say Miss Lee, so I won't say it. She's Korean, and by the looks of her, she's a bit, I think she's a little shorter than Natalia, and she has, well, some ladies say she was a little blocky, but she's a lot thicker. And look at her quads. There's some women in bodybuilding and even men in bodybuilding who probably love her quads. She has good depth. I think one thing is she needs to work on her upper body. She doesn't have enough size in the arms. She needs more better lat development. I mean, just the little things she can tweak, but she looked pretty impressive. She looked second this show. And there was some people that maybe she could have maybe won if she came in just a bit more tight in condition. It's hard to beat Natalia because it's tough. She's good. She's tough to beat. But if you have to be on point. Best thing for her is truthfully, a lot of these women who live out of the country, you have to come here and settle here, where you get more opportunities, where you can probably get with the right trainers. I mean, get the right people. There's more shows for you to do. There's a good chance she might even win a qualification. She got to pick the right show. Pick a show where it's not too many big names, not too many heavy hitters. I would say do the Toronto. Toronto may be possibly a qualification for you for Olympia, or do the Omaha, or maybe do the Puerto Rico. The shows that don't have too many big names. I wouldn't do the Atlanta. I wouldn't do Chicago. I wouldn't do the Tampa. You know, maybe if you could try, you can go overseas. Maybe try to do the Portugal Pro, or maybe the Open Championship. It's all dependent. Sometimes it's best to try to change your, because she lives in Korea. Korea's not too far from maybe Romania and also Spain. It'd be a lot easier for you, especially travel expenses. Here is one Miss Catherine Alex Hall, or sometimes called her Flex Hall. I've seen her before. She competed at Chicago Pro last year, a couple other shows. I love her physique. She is beautiful. She's amazing. I think she should have took second place. Hell, I think she should have won. I mean, she's from Georgia. She's from the South. She's a mother herself. I think she has a son. I believe a son or a daughter. I mean, she has a beautiful physique. I did a video about her. Look at her abdominals, her legs. I mean, I'm not. I'm just me. I'm being a fan, not a judge. I think she should have won this show. I think she's taller. She has great looks to her. I don't know. What am I not seeing that the judges are seeing? Maybe, like I said again, I'm talking as a fan, not as I'm talking as a fan. That's why I'm talking. I'm talking as a fan. But I think she's a great physique, great lines. I mean, beautiful. Just I hope she gets a qualification. I think this show's coming up like the St. Louis. Maybe she should have done the Ultima show. She might probably done better at the Ultima show. It was on this weekend. So it's Louisiana. I think she has a beautiful smile. I love her smile. I love my sisters of melanin and muscle. But I think she could have won this show. I feel like if Natalia wasn't there, she could have won it. And if she came in, whatever she needed to come in to beat Natalia, I think she could have beat her. I don't know. What am I not seeing? The judges are seeing. Maybe, like I said again, I am speaking as a fan, but not as as a judge. I just don't know. See it. Maybe whoever who follows my channel, who follows me my bodybuilding, tell me what is Alex Mixon? What is Catherine? What is Flex Mixon? That why she didn't win this show? Well, she should have got first, especially over Lee and Natalia. Here we have Amanda Palis. And as you know, Miss Palis is a former United States Marine, so I want to say out the gate, thank you for your service. Now, she competed at the Pittsburgh Pro. I think she made top 5 of that show, I believe. And this is the show she took 4th place. She has great looks, but it's, I think, a little bit... I would think I could see her as maybe... she doesn't have enough... To me, not enough muscle density. I think I could see her as figure, or maybe not bikini, maybe wellness. I think she's just too feminine in looks. I mean, she has a great look to her. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm gonna say that. Yeah, she just needs to bring in a little bit more tightness, a little bit more definition. And even though physique is supposed to get away from, the look of female bodybuilding, still didn't want to love her muscles. She got 4th place. That's good. She made top 5, but she just got to bring in a little more. Just a little bit more. I think she's kind of like Denise Messina. Denise Messina had a great physique, but one thing about Denise was, I'm not going to go into details about it, but you can really see that she's a little bit too feminine. The sport is evolving. I think that's what she's got to come in a little tighter. I think she might have to push her issues with water. Maybe, is it the same thing work with what that thing was? I think issues with a muscle bellies, how to say the terminology, and just come in a little more drier. I'm learning these terminologies really pretty well, but I gotta get somebody who can explain me some of these terminologies, because I'm still a novice when it comes down to this whole thing. Here we have one lady who she was the one who came in. lasted a minute. It seemed like to me. I'm try to pronounce her name the best way I can because I sometimes names can be difficult to say. I'm gonna be very I'm gonna be very trying to do the best I can with a name. It's let me see. I want to be correct when I say it. Wait a minute. What was it? I saw it and I should have try to get her name, but sometimes it's hard to find these ladies. Her name is I'm pulling it right now. Alandrian Banlan. I figure it's like Aland. That's what I was almost say Miss Alandro. I'm gonna say that best way I can. Like I said, she lives in New York and she's competing quite a lot. And this is her third New York Pro. She competed back in 2015. I think she also did 2016 and 2017, I believe. And she's also she's a businesswoman. She's a promoter. She's an instructor. She's a trainer. And she kind of came in under the wire, because I think they have we registrations to a certain time. And when I did the list I think a couple of days ago, it was the 10 women that I had, but they didn't put her in until maybe later. And I don't like I said, I got as much information I got her. I try to make sure I got her name right. I'm sorry. I want to apologize if she ever watched this video. So I'm gonna call her as Miss Miss Alandra. Out of out of respect. And she looked all right. She looked pretty good. I mean, be able to come in and take fifth place. Compared to some of the other ladies that was competing in this show. Some of the ladies I saw, most of them were making their, I think three or four of them were making their, um, pro debut. And it's tough. It was tough for them. But she came in here, already been competing for quite some time, and come in and got fifth place. Especially with a tough lineup, especially in the time the lineup, a couple of other ladies. She did pretty good. I mean, congratulations to Miss Alandria. Maybe we see more in the future. Do some more shows. Now, next here's a lady who I done an interview out back. I try to keep it social media with her. We don't talk much like we used to when we first did the interview. And that is Kristen Lay, and Kristen we did the Pittsburgh Pro, the same show she did with Amanda and also Natalia. She came in eighth this show out of 11 women. And compared to the Pittsburgh, which she took 13th, which was kind of, I think she was dead last. But she did some pretty improvements. I think she has a great physique, great lines. The thing is, she still has this is her second show, and she's got to come in just a little more tighter, a little more drier. And I think she needs a little more size, just a little bit more, not too much. Where, she has great definition. I love her lines. Um, One thing, yeah, and the thing is about her, she's come from Australia, and that's a good trip. I think that's almost a day or so trip. Then you got to get here, then you got to get acclimated to your environment, and then shake off the jet lag. My best advice for her is don't do no more shows for a while. These first two shows were tests for you. That's good. I would say it'd be better for you to focus on the shows in Europe. I wouldn't say do the Portugal Pro or the Europa just yet. I would say take the time and work out and maybe do the last two shows for next year's qualification. That is the Romania and the Big Man Weekend in Spain. Those shows would probably be a better show because they wouldn't be as far for you to travel from Australia to Europe. And I would say like this: if you could afford it, I would say since the shows are like close together, usually are close together, I would say stay over in the countries for about a week or so. So you don't have to go back and forth to Australia. If you can find somebody who can who wants to help you in that, maybe give you a base of operations while you're there. Get there a week advance before the Romania. So get yourself a base of operations. I think what for us that it's a lot easier to travel around Europe than it is even America because they got a super train and like some places you could drive there and back and forth. Within a day or so. And I think that'd be a better thing for her to do. I think those last two shows in Europe, like the Romania and the Big Man Weekend, would be better for her to do. If she want to come back next year to the States, but it'd be easier if she can come maybe, like I said again, a lot of competitors who live far off like this, they should come. Maybe I would say come if you go do like, try to do two shows in the States for the month. Come here in the month of August. If you can afford it, or if you find somebody who will sponsor you, stay here for a month, do a couple of shows, go back, train, prep up, and then do some shows in Europe. That's just my advice. You can take it or leave it, but it's just my advice. I think she's a beautiful lady. She's a great physique. I enjoy our conversations. We haven't been too much speaking on social media much lately. I usually see some stuff, but she usually responds. But I know she's busy. She's prepping all that stuff. But I hope to get to maybe talk to her sometime soon. I'll send this video to her. Maybe she'll listen to it or not. But like I said, I like Christian Lady. I support her. She is a beautiful lady, and I hope she does get the opportunity to get a qualification. Maybe or take a year off and come back, and maybe in 2024, really make some, you can make the improvements and really what the judges want, because judges are going to critique. Ladies always ask the judges after the show what they need to do to make the adjustments, and she can make the right adjustments. I hope she does. This is a lady who I've also been social media friendly with. This is one Miss Heidi Warwell Osborne, and AKA I call her, best Mighty Heidi. And this is her first show for the season. She competed last at the Legion, I think the Legion Sports Fest, and she competed in Open Women's Physique and also in Women's Masters. And this is rarely she does any shows outside of California. She mostly competes in California, but she stepped up and came here and competed in a show in the on the West Coast, on the East Coast, of the left, and she didn't. She took 11th, and I respect Heidi. We've been friendly for quite some time. I done videos about her. She liked my videos about her, like, and I'm trying to get her on the live stream. I know she's a busy woman. She's a trainer. She's a coach. She's a mother. She does a lot of stuff. I'd love to get her on my show. I want to, really get people to give her attention to her, recognize her, because she's been competing for quite a long time. And she's one of these ladies I would call, who have their boots on the ground 10 toes down. I have much respect for Heidi. I think she's a beautiful lady, a lovely lady. We have a good time when we talk on social media. I enjoy her videos. I hope to get her on live stream sometime soon. But like I said, I hope doesn't discourage her. She might, as you know, there's more shows for women's physique in California than is in, I think more opportunities over there in the West Coast than is here in, just generally for women's physique. It's just more opportunities, period. But I think she probably gonna do masters also. There's some shows coming up for masters, and next year masters is coming to the Olympia. So congratulations to her. She come up here and come from all the other side of the country and compete at the show. Much respect to her, and I hope she does get the opportunity to get to the Olympia. If it's not in open, but maybe in masters. So much respect to my dear friend Miss Mighty Heidi, and she's a beautiful lady. I just love her physique. I love her lines. Just a lovely lady. Now, this is a little side note. As you know, if you listen to my Muscle Talk Mondays, me and my partner, Jared, aka I call him Jenn, Gilios, how you want to say it. He was at the He was at the New York. So he said he was going to go to the show, and he got to meet the dear Miss Hella Trevino. And he sent me this picture yesterday, and I said, I had to show the picture. I mean, the boy is happy. I look like, I finally get to see how he looks. I think, he might have seen me some pictures before. I try to remember, but, this is my partner, Jenn. He's a great guy. I can't wait till we do Muscle Talk Monday tomorrow to talk about his experience about being at the Olympia. Being at the New York Pro. He's thinking about doing some more shows. He was talking. He got to talk to Hella, and I also told one of the ladies who I was saying, you see him, say hello to him. Like I said, he's a fan of female bodybuilding. He is supportive of female bodybuilding. I keep telling him, brother, make some content. You're on YouTube. Make some content. We need content makers to represent women's bodybuilding. We need all that support. But I'm glad he enjoyed himself. We'll talk about it tomorrow on our Muscle Talk Mondays. It's gonna be 3 o'clock. Monday, every Monday, because it's Muscle Talk Monday, and I want to hear his experience. He's been around female bodybuilding before. He has a little bit more experience with female bodybuilding than I do. But it's great to, I'm so happy for him. And maybe when I get my opportunity to go to a show, maybe I might get somebody like Hella or whoever I want to meet. It's great, and whole Hella's doing fine. She's been staying in Mexico. We've recovered from her shoulder surgery. There's talks that she might sit out, this year. There's talks she might come back. It's a lot of stuff going on, but we just gotta wait till, I just take everything with a grain of salt until everything comes out. But I hope you have fun, brother. I hope you look like you had a good time. So anyway, we're going here. The champ. The champ is here. The champ is here. One Miss Donna Salib. This lady, she has been competing for quite some time. I don't want to say congratulations to her. I even said congratulations on IG. She appreciates it. I'm hoping we, like I said again, get her on my live stream, talk about her experience, how it feels to get your first Olympia qualification. She's been competing for almost as a pro for the last 3 or 4 years, been competing in fitness for at least over nearly 20 years. She started out, I think, in figure, and I think she switched up to she just switched to bodybuilding. I think she did physique for a minute, but she was told she was a bodybuilder. She is a true bodybuilder. She didn't do too well at the Indy. She took second at the Indy, and she was really kind of pissed about taking that spot. But like I said, she beat the person everybody was saying it was going to win. That was definitely Fletcher. I know it felt good. Her husband's happy for her. Her son's happy for her. Her grandbabies are happy for her. At the Indy, she said her father came to one of her shows, and that was a great thing. Being a woman, your father is always your first true love. He's the man who raised you, taught told you how what a man should treat his woman, as he treat his wife, he should treat his daughters, and I think she's so happy and proud of herself. So as you know, she's gonna make her first Olympia, debut, and she's a wing strength ambassador, and and this is a great for her. I mean, this is an early birthday because I think her birthday is coming up in next month. And this is a great early birthday gift for her, to able to, go to Olympia, especially with, this is going to be the third year for women's bodybuilding. Came back in 2020, had 2021, and now 2022. And, and to, be a woman of maturity and to compete alongside women who are much younger than you, and to bring in a great presentation, great physique, and to win. She has great lines. What I love about her physique, no breast implants, no tattoos, nothing to expose the tattoos. I think classic, female bodybuilding, like, um, 90s into the 80s to the early 2000s. People like Krista Bach, Anna, and Annie Rivicchio, just Sheila Black. I mean, those women who have beautiful lines, great physiques. Those women who just were just classic looks, like you know, Julia Bergman, and I just think she deserved this. She truly deserved this. And she's a Southern lady, so I respect Mrs. Salib. Out of respect for you as a Southern lady from being from Kentucky, and this is a great opportunity for her. I'm being we are, social media friends. I'm really proud of her. I hope she gets the opportunity. It's gonna be a tough lineup, depending on who's gonna be there. We have Andrea Shaw, and I think Andrew's gonna be undefeated. Margie, I think she's supposed to be coming back. A couple of other ladies still have to qualify because they changed the qualification from top five to top three. But I think if she does well, and she's the second woman since Leah Denny of maturity to win this show. When returned women about to be returned, and much respect to her. As it was it 2020 when Mila Ash won, then 2021 it was Leah Denny, and now 2022 it's Donna Salib. So it's just the return of female bodybuilding to the New York Pro. So I want to say congratulations to my dear friend Miss Donna Salib, Mrs. Salib. And I hope her husband, her son, her grandchildren, even her daddy, her mama are proud of her. Because it should be. She worked hard and she made the adjustment. She looks impressive. I remember when she was there was an Indian doing the interview. She looked huge. Her shoulders are trapped. But everything came together at this show. Look at the lats. I mean, I'm telling you, she looked great. I mean, I'm just, this is a great presentation for her. But like I said, congratulations to her. But like I said, I don't want to say too long. But like I say, much respect to Don Salim, all the ladies who competed at this show. And I hope we see more of the ladies in the upcoming rest of the season. This is me, always yours, page, aka the Emperor of Female Badminton Talk. Like, don't like, subscribe. I'm out.